On today's show, no, the Dallas Mavericks should not go trade for Ja Morant, the disgruntled star of the Memphis Grizzlies. But will Nico Harrison be able to help himself? I don't know if I can answer that one on today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Dome, corner, zone 5.
Explain yourself.
All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Howard.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're Locked On to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being in every day or making Locked On Mavs your first listen to the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network. Thank you for helping us get there. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download Game Time app, create an account, and use that code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. And joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the disembodied head homie, the One More Thing King. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
I'm in need of trades. I'm in need of trades. I'm just so ready to talk trades, man. It's my favorite thing to do is speculate on trades. I spend way too much time. It's like my wife's asleep. I'm laying in bed and I'm like, she's like, hey, are you going to go to sleep with me? I'm like, I'm on trade machine real quick. I got to go through the Pelicans roster one more time. And
Isaac loves when a guy has to move cities.
yes.
We're all about it. But the Dallas Mavericks and Ja Morant should not be a pairing that should happen. But we'll talk about that. We'll get into it. And we'll also talk about Cooper Flagg. I think we know one of the biggest problem with Cooper Flagg right now. And I don't think it's actually Cooper Flagg himself. I also want to compare him to other 18-year-olds through 6 games in the NBA. And we'll probably do this throughout the season and throughout his year. But I was kind of surprised when I went and saw the numbers. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Well, let's start here. Ja Morant is what you would call a classically disgruntled star in the NBA. I think he's a star in the NBA. Whether he's a star on the court right now that's probably not what you would call him, but he's definitely a star figure in the NBA. Ja Morant has been a player that has been an all-star, has been a guy that has led to a playoff series win where I felt like he was leading that Memphis Grizzlies team, where it was like one of those where everybody just get on my back and let's go. Like everybody come behind me. Everybody else is like better because I'm on the court, because I am on this team. He felt like that kind of leader, and I really liked that version of Ja Morant. We have not seen that version of Ja Morant in a little while, and there has been some things where he's been disgruntled with the coaching staff and with the offense, and then that got Taylor Jenkins and his crew fired. Now a new crew has come in to this, and Ja Morant was just suspended 1 game by the Memphis Grizzlies for comments detrimental to the team or actions detrimental to the team. That's not new for Ja Morant. But I wanted to go through some of the comments because this is what was asked of Ja Morant. And he said this exact statement every single time. Go ask the coaching staff. He was asked, what went wrong tonight? And he said, go ask the coaching staff. Like, okay, if maybe that's your answer. Maybe you're just upset about the game.
That's great.
Second one, is there anything you could do differently yourself? He said, go ask the coaching staff. You're like, okay. The next one was, from the outside, it seems like you didn't have your usual energy. And Ja Morant said, go ask the coaching staff why. And then he was asked, what could you have done to get a different outcome besides asking the coaching staff? And Ja Morant said, according to them, talking about the coaching staff, don't play me. That was what their message was. And that is just like, I have not heard a player call out a coaching staff as specifically and as overtly like that in a long time. And so now it has everybody spinning where they're saying, all right, well, is Ja Morant on the move? Can the Memphis Grizzlies continue with this? Do they fire another coaching staff and like heed to Ja again and try and figure out whatever coaching staff will actually work with him? Or do they just move on? They've already moved on from Desmond Bane, got the 4 first-round picks for him. They signed Jaren Jackson, that huge deal. They've got him in tow for a while. They've got a lot of young guys on that team. Maybe they just do the full rebuild right now and try and do that around Ja. And so it looks like they're going to trade him. So that brings us to the Dallas Mavericks. Isaac, the Mavs need a point guard. Why would they not go get Ja Morant right now?
There's so many different directions I could go.
Did you like that? I threw that up on a platter.
I mean, you traveled down that path and then just lobbed it to me at the last moment.
That's right. Here it is.
No, I mean, of course, they got Kyrie that is supposed to come back. Who knows when? But I've been expecting end of February, 1st of March, the whole time for Kyrie. So if they didn't have Kyrie, I would be like, oh, dude, Nico is already driving up to Memphis right now. Like that. I mean, if they didn't have Kyrie, am I still fully convinced that Nico's not trying to like make phone calls? No, I don't know what. Like, I don't think anybody could ever be surprised by Nico's trades at this point, but I just don't think it's like a great fit. I mean, if he was a better shooter and a little bit more reliable health wise and stuff, I would almost be down, because I've also been on this podcast saying, hey, you need two creators. Like, you just desperately need two guys out there that can, and Kyrie and Ja would just be like, oh my gosh, my brain's like, if Ja's healthy. But the thing about Ja is, yes, he's 26. He's electric. He's fun when he's playing it. What?
You said he's electric, and I said boogie woogie woogie.
Oh my gosh. But the thing about Ja is like availability. It's almost like beyond. I think the availability part gets like left out of the conversation a little bit, because we focus on the quotes and like, yeah, his stats have kind of like went down over the past few years, but he's played under 60 games 3 out of the last 4 seasons. So it's like, I mean,
How about 50 games last year, 9 the year before that, 61 the year before that, and 57 the year before that? I mean, he's not getting close to 70, 80 games.
Yeah, so it's more that. I mean, you could go look at field goal percentages went down, 3-point percentages went down. He is a fun playmaker. He's a good passer. You know, he sets up his guys, and it's just he's 6'2". I don't know. I mean, it just feels, why I'm like kind of stumbling about it is because I've also been complaining about the lack of offense on this team for so long over these past like few months, even going back before the season started. And so there's a side of me that's like, God, I just want somebody out there that can dribble a ball and like set up an offense. And if they traded for him tomorrow, you'd be like, all right, like let's have some fun with it. Hopefully you can stay healthy and all the stuff. But it's just with Kyrie coming back and all of that, the contract is at $39 million. You get 2 more years after that, 42, 45. So you'd be locking in this core of AD, Ja, and Kyrie. And
that sounds like the timeline to me.
That sounds like the Blue Cross Blue Shield timeline.
But here's the thing, and why I started this show by saying, will Nico Harrison be able to help himself? Ja Morant is a disgruntled Nike athlete. Like, not about Nike. He's disgruntled about the Grizzlies. That is a player that Nico Harrison has historically gone after, right? And has historically made moves for.
He had one player in Kyrie, and yes, when the value is down, he took the risk and chance and traded a lower value for a guy like Kyrie, and I think that's paid off really well. So, yes, I think because, yeah, I mean, naturally, you've been looking across the league, like everybody's like, oh my gosh, what is Ja's trade market right now? What is his trade value? Like, what is, you look at teams like I joked about Brooklyn. It's like, if you're Brooklyn, you don't have anybody that's the face of your franchise. Like, would you want to do that? And what would it cost?
Just drafted 4 point guards.
I think if you're Memphis, then, I mean, that was my prediction when the season was starting, that Memphis would just blow it all up this year. But I think at some point he's gone. So
I think so
even
too.
before the comments.
I think so too. I think it's gonna depend on which team gives him a decent offer, because right now, like, he is, it's tough to say like damaged goods, but like he is a distressed asset in the sense that he is like a trade, like a player to be traded. Like, you don't have to give up as much today.
You're giving up picks though for him. So
you're giving up something. Like, you're definitely giving up something for him.
I could just see like Mavs fans be like, oh dude, like his values tank so bad, then Klay and Gafford. It's like, no, it's not that. So
you would have to give up something of value.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a first, you're looking at max, and then you're looking at some contracts. And it could be more. I don't know. Like, I don't know if Houston calls and it's like, hey, we want to do this. Is it multiple first round picks? I just don't know what his value is right now, how teams view him, not just because of the contracts in this current situation, but the availability. And he's kind of like, he hasn't been the same type of player as he was, 4 years ago.
No, I mean, I saw Kevin O'Connor post the stat that his at rim frequency, like his shots at the rim frequency, has gone down every single season of his career. Started out at 49%, and last year was 33%, and I think this year it's even lower than that. Like it has just gone down, and that's where he gets his damage done for the most part.
It's such a bummer too, because I love watching Ja play.
Yeah.
Like he was so much fun. I mean, heck, Nike made him a signature athlete, which isn't easy to do at all. There's only a handful of those guys, and so when he was on, like it was a lot of fun. It just the past few years on the court stuff worries me, and the durability, and we already have AD and Kyrie to worry about.
Well, and that's let alone the off the court stuff with the guns and with the the videos and like the whole thing with his dad and like there's all kinds of just weird stuff going on around him. And so then like we've just been talking about on the court, like you add that to it. I just think it's something the Dallas Mavericks shouldn't get into that business right now. Will Nico Harrison be able to help himself? Probably. Like I think there's enough here to talk himself out of it to be like, all right, this just isn't a fit, because he's so invested in Kyrie and this team is so invested in Kyrie coming back, and they really wanted somebody that can play with Kyrie. And Ja Morant shooting under 30% from three the last 3 or 4 years of his career is not somebody I would say could play next to Kyrie for an extended period of time and expect to be very good. Even though the Mavs could use a Ja Morant type right now, like they have to think about it a little bit longer term than that. And I think that's why, for that reason, Shark Tank wise, I am out.
Right now, real quick, what's the team that you think you go to?
Sacramento, because they're
He would be.
they're the dumping ground for every.
I want to say the Nets low-key underrated move would be Portland.
You just scoot, like you just give up on
Scoot and Jeremy Grant. Put Ja with
there's the contract.
Put Ja with Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard, and just be like, all right, let's
see what happens.
Yeah, Ja and those young guys in Portland and stuff would be fun.
Shaden Sharp and Kamara and the Ja Morant and Hanson Young, is that like the two most different people that have ever played on a basketball team together?
How are they different, Nick?
One of them is tall and like shy, and the other one is not.
Shy.
Coming up, we know the problem with Cooper Flagg, and it has nothing to do with Cooper Flagg. We'll tell you what it is coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs is brought to you by Robinhood. Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and even crypto, all on one platform. Now you can build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. Also brought to you by friends over at Game Time. Basketball season is here, and nothing beats getting in the arena. Even sometimes, like, if it's a bad Mavs game, like having the energy of the crowd and having everybody there and seeing the Maniacs and seeing everything happening, and seeing like the Mavs have this group called the Breakers that do flips and stuff. Like, there's all kinds of fun stuff that happens around Mavs games, and obviously basketball, wherever you are, that's where Game Time comes in. The app gives the fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NBA tickets, fast, easy, and stress-free, even on your way to the arena. But watch out, some of them go up like real close to they go down, and then there's like one window of time for some reason they go up. So you better watch on the app, watch on Game Time. They do have the zone deals that are a game changer. You pick the section, Game Time picks your seats, and you save big. So you can find NBA tickets for under $25. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code LOCKEDONNBA, LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go with Game Time.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every day. We appreciate you for checking out the show. If you listen every day, you're part of the Raccoon Squad. And if you're listening at Texas Live right now, for whatever reason, or if you're there at Texas Live,
you can't
shout out
hear
because
us.
You probably can't hear us. I'm waving to you, but shout out because a friend of mine sent a video of Locked On Mavs being played at Texas Live, which is cool. I thought because we're on TV every day on KFAA at 4:30. So you can watch us on TV. I love when somebody comes up to me and it's like, dude, I was scrolling through the guide and all of a sudden it said Locked On Mavs was coming on TV. Like it says it on the guide. Like that made me really excited the first time we saw that. Like
yes, it does, baby. Your grandma can watch us.
And you can watch us on the rabbit ears, and you don't have to worry about it getting plucked from the. You don't have to get worried about it getting plucked from the service, unlike Disney with YouTube TV this weekend.
Dude, they got brutal. 2 days before Dancing with the Stars, so.
And then so many people are going to realize they can't watch it.
That's going to be the real Can
you watch
backlash.
that on the ESPN Unlimited or whatever the heck that new?
I don't know what that is, but I think you can watch it on like Disney Plus Live or.
It is kind of like a Disney Plus Live. God, where have we gone? Where have we come from? Where do we go? Where do we come from?
I literally went through 3 different apps the other night to find a certain game that I knew was on, and I just like laughed once I got there. Because I was
it on Tubi?
No,
it
took
on Freebie.
I had too much pride to like actually look up the channel of it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like find the game, and I clicked on one. Then I went to another, and I was like, all right, well, I'm getting there eventually. And I was just thinking about the people older than us that are really struggling right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to talk about Cooper Flagg because there's been some complaining about Cooper Flagg. We've seen the haters about Cooper Flagg. We've seen he's struggling. Oh, he's just 18. Well, you guys are always taking up for Cooper Flagg. You know, all that. And we've gotten that. We got that with Brunson. We got that with Luka. We've gotten that with everybody basically that's been on the Mavericks.
JaVale.
But I think there's one thing that is the quote unquote problem with Cooper Flagg. Quote unquote air quotes I'm doing right now. You can't hear air quotes. These are the air quotes. The Mavs don't have like a point guard or don't have a point of attack like offensive player where taking the pressure off of some of these other guys, and Cooper Flagg has become that. And so in turn, this was something you and I were talking about yesterday. You brought up, hey, he's getting defended by some of the best players in the NBA on the other side. Lou Dort defended him a bunch in that Thunder game. Cason Wallace defended him a bunch in that Thunder game. Asar Thompson defended him a bunch in that Pistons game. I'm sure Amen Thompson is going to defend him a bunch in this Rockets game coming up here on Monday. Add Pascal Siakam there, add Stephon Castle from the Spurs there. Like, he's been defended by some of the best players in the NBA because the Mavs don't have anybody to take off any of the pressure from him. And you're like, yeah, well, he should be able to go against, but like, you shouldn't expect your rookie to play against some of the best defenders in the NBA and be super successful right off the bat.
Yeah, that's why I'm not convinced like some of the people wanting to take shots at Cooper right now are not actually like watching them play, because if they had Kyrie out there or they had another point guard out there that was somewhat of a threat on offense to create and get their own shot and all that, then the primary defender on the other team would be guarding that guy. And Asar Thompson. OKC is a little different because they have literally 2 or 3 of those guys with Dort and Case and Wallace and Caruso. Like, they have, Jalen Williams, how did I forget him? Like, they have so many guys out there on the perimeter that can switch, and they're all really, really good defenders. But it's like you're going to get a back-to-back dose of the Thompson brothers. Like you said with Indiana, you got some Nesmith, Siakam in that game. That first game of the season, you're getting Stephon Castle. Well, guess who's getting Castle in most nights? The opposing point guard who is the best player on the other team. Or, if Kyrie is out there, he's probably getting Castle on him, maybe. So that's just one of the things that it's not just that Cooper is playing out of position and they don't have another point guard on offense to initiate the offense and get the offense going and to set him up at times. He is playing out of position and getting the other team's best defender. It's just like, the more and more the season goes on, the more frustrated I get of, man, like you got that 1.8% chance and got this guy. And I just feel like they're just doing him a big disservice right now with the situation they've put him in.
Yeah, it's that point. It's the point that he's playing out of position and he's being challenged by some of the best defenders, in the NBA.
And you don't have another guard. Like, imagine if you got Dereck Lively that you tank and you get Lively and you don't have a Luka. Like, you don't have a pick and roll guy.
Or they try to play him out on the perimeter and make him space the floor. That's almost what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
If they tried to make Lively space the floor all the time in his rookie season.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're trying to play him in that way. And then add on to the fact that they're trying this new offense, which part of me is like, all right, let's wait on the results for this new offense, because it seems like the whole team is having a hard time getting getting accustomed to this offense. It's not a pick and roll based offense where you're like what everybody else runs. And so they're trying this Princeton style offense that you laid out really well in the episode the other day. And
I don't know if I did it really well. I was just trying to point out the main differences between, so we could at least see a few things on the floor. AD is the biggest, I think the biggest reason why they wanted to switch to something like this.
Yeah, and the lack of point guard because you technically don't really need one to run that if it's run well, but it doesn't seem to be running well right now. Quote unquote, air quotes. And so it's like all three of those factors together, I think, is adding to this issue of like, why isn't Flagg like why isn't he consistent? Why isn't he like putting up numbers all the time? Like why does he have these games where he scores 2 points, 4 points, whatever? And I think that is one of the reasons, and I think that's a fair point.
No, yeah, I mean, for sure. It's like I want to see him. Can we get Kyrie before 2026?
Jason Kidd seems to think that may be a possibility. And so today, a little bit later, if you're listening, watching this, we'll talk about that and talk about Kidd's quote, because that was absolutely wild. So stick around, subscribe, follow wherever you're listening or watching this.
I do want to see this Houston game, though. If they have a lot of length. I know Jabari Smith is questionable in this game, but they just have a lot of length out there with, Tari Eason that can play, and obviously Alman Thompson and stuff. So I want to see the what?
And KD, I mean.
Yeah. And so, I want to see. I'm assuming that they're going to put Alman on him a lot and just be up in his grill again. He's like, dude, I literally just played you the other night.
Did you just change jerseys? And it's like, yeah, that's going to be a tough one for sure. But we'll have the post game right here for you after that game, and we'll see what happens to the Mavericks on that. Coming up, I want to talk about Cooper Flagg compared to other 18-year-olds through their first 6 games, because I was surprised by some of the things I saw. I'll talk about that coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Rugia. Let's be real, making excuses doesn't solve anything. It may sound like we're making excuses for Cooper Flagg, but you've all heard them before with personal things. I'm stressed. I'm tired. It happens to everyone sometimes. When it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support. That's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting. I told you about the humming on the like when you're not on screen when I do this ad. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting doctor-prescribed ED treatments designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it easy to get started. You can connect with the board-certified doctor 100% online. No awkward waiting rooms. No in-person appointments. It's about confidence, connection, and getting back to the moments that matter.
Confidence.
If you're prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly straight to your door. That'll give you confidence right there. Rugiet, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNBA to get 15% off your first order. That's Rugiet, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNBA. Don't forget to use the code. It's LockedOnNBA, all one word. Rugiet, stop making excuses. Start making moves.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Isaac, let's talk about Cooper Flagg. I've seen some people disappointed in Cooper Flagg, saying, he's just going to be a role player. I don't know what you guys see in him, all this kind of stuff.
Nah.
And I've seen a lot of people say, I've seen some people say, he's the reason why the Mavericks are struggling right now. If he was better, then blah, blah, blah.
No, come on.
That is a tough take for me to try and parse through.
Would the Mavericks be better if he was scoring 35 a game right now?
Same can be said about Klay Thompson.
For sure. But is he one of the top 3 to 4 reasons why that they're really struggling? No.
And so I started to go through and I was like, all right, I think Tim Cato texted in our group chat that we have with our friends over at DLS. He was like, yeah, the 18-year-old should be better. And you're like, it really puts it in perspective every time you bring up 18-year-old. He's the youngest player in the NBA. So what did he look like compared to some other young players the youngest players in the NBA at the time? So the other 18-year-olds that have come into the league.
Oh, you got the intern on the graphic.
I got the intern to do the graphic, and I went through, and LeBron James, Cooper Flagg, Dwight Howard, Giannis, Tracy McGrady, and Kobe Bryant were some of the notable recent ones that I started to go through. Fairly recent, I guess. Cooper Flagg has more points, double the points basically that Dwight Howard did, that Giannis did, that Tracy McGrady did, that Kobe Bryant did through 6 games. Cooper Flagg has scored 83 points through 6 games. Kobe Bryant scored 20. Kobe Bryant had 8 rebounds through 6 games. Cooper Flagg has had 39. And it's not like Kobe Bryant wasn't playing either. Kobe Bryant was playing here and there. Kobe Bryant shot 33% from the field, 25% from 3 through his first 6 games. Cooper Flagg is shooting 37% and 28%. from field goal and 3. LeBron leads everybody, obviously, with 101 points through his first 6 games, 46 rebounds, 42 assists. Like, he was absolutely lapping the field. He was just something we've never seen as an 18-year-old. He was just head and shoulders above. And I think LeBron being as good as he was at 18 has changed what everybody thinks an 18-year-old should actually be. All these guys struggled. Giannis, through his first 6 games as an 18-year-old, he was 18 his first year in the NBA. 30 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist through 6 games. Like, just these guys that struggled in a lot of different ways. They struggled to find their way in the NBA, struggled against the physicality. Like, all these 18-year-olds have struggled, and we're seeing it right now with Cooper Flagg. And I know that we got to have it now. He's got to look ready right now. And I know one of the reasons is because Mavs fans just want hope. Like, they just give me hope and just give me something to latch onto that'll take me away from all this gestures to lots of things. But it may take a little bit of time with Cooper Flagg to like really become the player that you want him to be. But he's already better and tracking a lot better than a lot of the 18-year-olds that we've seen so far.
Yeah, if you go back to, I remember a moment, it was late 2023 when he decided to reclassify. And it was a huge deal. You know, he's been one of those prospects that you follow through the class where like it's undoubted like he's the number 1 prospect. And it's like, all right, well, you knew this like Cooper Flagg draft is going to be in 2026. So in 2023, he reclassifies to where he's going to go to college early and he's going to graduate high school early and then go to college early, super young when he's 17. Yeah. And because he did this interview, to where he threw out that quote, and he still got this quote multiple times, but it's the quote that his mom always told him of, hey, when you're the best player in the gym, you need to find a new gym. And that was kind of like one of his biggest reasons for reclassifying up and skipping that senior year of high school. So age-wise, he should be a freshman in college right now. So he should be gearing up to start a freshman season at Duke or whatever college and stuff, and as college basketball is about to start back up and stuff. So it's not an excuse, but it's just a reminder of we're kind of past we are past the jump from like high school to the NBA. And I mean, heck, probably ages us now. There's we're kind of there of like, hey, I remember the day when high schoolers could be jumped to the NBA. Like, if we remember when Kobe came in the league, or Kevin Garnett, or Dwight Howard. Remember when Dwight Howard came in the league, and it's like these guys jumped straight from high school to the NBA, and Cooper Flagg obviously couldn't do that, but the age-wise of it is basically the same. So it's crazy, and it's also crazy that he ended up going to college when he was 17, and he won all these awards and was the best player in college basketball at the age of 17. So, yeah, he's a young pup. As another media member told me the other night, they're like, hey, his goatee doesn't even connect yet. All right. So he's a pretty young kid.
That can be said for a lot of us, but but it's going to take, he's going to figure it out. I also believe like he's going to figure it out. It took him a little bit in college too. He still had numbers, but it took him a little bit to become like the national player of the year in college too. And I think the NBA is gonna be the same thing. And then you add all the other things we talked about before in the last part, where we talked about how he's playing out of position, he's going against the best defenders, and he's like playing in this offense that the Mavs themselves, like all these vets are still trying to figure out too. There's just a lot of factors right now, a lot of things that I didn't account for really going into the season, that this offense would be harder than it seems like for them. The injuries so early in the season, I guess I didn't even really think of. There's just so many different little, and then the worst thing is the defense being worse than we expected, and I think that has affected everything. Where if the Mavericks defensively would be better or more reliable, then maybe this is a different conversation.
There's 2 18-year-olds in the NBA right now. Do you know the other one off the top of your head?
The other 18-year-old in the NBA.
I don't expect you to know it. It's Behringer in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, Johan
dude, he's
Baron J. Baron J.
Dude, he's fun, super athletic, big, and everything. I liked him in the draft, but. Yeah, I mean, Cooper Flagg's legit the youngest player in the NBA. So
I should know that because both of them were at the same station at the NBA draft. And so like Cooper Flagg was coming up next, and Johan Baron J went to his station, and there was like 40 people around his station. And he was like wide-eyed looking around like, are all these people here for me? And then he like didn't really speak English that well, so he was having a translator and like and all that stuff. And then he was like, "What is going on? Why are all these people?" And everybody was just kind of waiting around. And then Cooper Flagg came, and then like 40 more people joined.
Oh. They're not here for me.
But they're the two 18-year-olds that were there in the same spot.
I've said this on multiple shows over the past week or so. I'm not worried about Cooper Flagg at all. Like,
No.
just at all. I'm almost like more impressed with him. With just there's a lot of intangible things that he does well. That's the type of stuff that feels like takes players a long time to pick up. Just like spots to be in, or just different things he sees on the floor, or like the speed of the game. The speed of the game doesn't look too fast for him.
No.
And all of that. So like there's a lot of that stuff. I'm like, dang, like once some roster stuff happens around you and you start getting maximized and utilized in a way that is really good, like he's going to start popping.
Or the roster just gets so injured that it pares down all these issues that it just like puts him in the right position. Because AD is out, Dereck Lively is out, Kyrie is out, Exum is out for this game against the Rockets. And yeah, we'll see what else happens. But we'll have the post game for you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Locked On Mavs. We'll have more. Check the QR code, links in the description for different ways to follow the show. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom! The Rockets red glare. The bombs bursting in air. Flag.